Hi everyone, good morning again, and welcome to Rise and Shine with Ebony Empress and Marcia Spence-Williams. This is our second time round, okay? But we just have to say the recording first time didn't work, so we are trying again because if at first you don't succeed, you really do have to try it.
Try again.
So we're not defeated. We are going second time round. Good morning and welcome. We have a conversation this morning about business, about a business that started in 2012, and I have the wonderful, lovely Marcia Spence-Williams with me. This is Ebony Empress. I'm so pleased to be connecting with you guys out there. I hope you're going to enjoy the broadcast. Okay. So let me tell you a bit about what I've been doing before I introduce Marcia to you formally. Let me tell you what I've been doing this week. Tuesday, I had a show, a wonderful show with my great coach, Sonia Grayson Newman, and we talked about, what did we talk about? Expectations. We talked about expectations in business, and she really, really gave us some wisdom and some great ideas about how to manage our expectations when we're forming a new career or we're looking to go into a new area of business. So thank you to Sonia for Tuesday. And on Thursday, because we couldn't broadcast on Wednesday, we had issues with broadcasting on Wednesday. We then broadcasted on on Thursday with Janice B. Gordon, and Janice talked about creating a business. How do you go about creating that business, the dream that you may have? How do you bring it about? How do you make it work? And what are the steps that you take to getting it out there? So thank you to Janice B. Gordon. That was a great conversation. Now, the follow-on conversation this morning is with our wonderful Marcia, and Marcia is going to tell you about her business. Marcia, good morning. Some real hiccups with the camera, with
I know.
with the whole podcast or broadcast going off, but let's hear from you. Tell us about your business.
Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, my business is a coaching, training, mentoring, and development agency, primarily for women, although we work with the men in their lives and we work with their families. And the reason that I set up this business is really because I had been in leadership and management for 25 years, from the age of 20 up to the age of 45. And throughout that period of time, I encountered a number of life issues. So whether it was issues within my marriage, issues around my own personal confidence, my personal health, issues in taking care of my children. And what I recognized was that actually, although I had achieved within my career and studies, the quality of my life was impaired. And
Okay.
so one of the services that I particularly wanted to offer to other professional women was a service where we could look at finding balance
Okay.
and about being able to take care of yourself and have a higher quality of life than you've ever had before.
Oh, wonderful, 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 wonderful. So that sounds great, but how did the transition go? From
For
working in the
me,
sector, yeah, to
yeah.
trying to create something for yourself that was completely different.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there were a lot of difficult choices that I had to make. I was previously in a career, established, a very good salary. I'm used to getting my paycheck every month
Yeah.
and had my pensions and plans in place. However, my personal desire was really to be free to follow my passions and to be expressive. But the difficulty and and I was held in my job for longer than really was necessary because I couldn't let go of that security. So that was some work that I had to do, I suppose, with myself and coaching myself to the point where I knew I'd have to take that leap. And
Okay.
so what I did was I started the business whilst I was still in employment, and I utilized the funds, so the money that I was raising from the job, I then utilized that to invest into the development of the business, and particularly in developing myself, so putting myself through different types of training. But also, I started the marketing of the business and testing the market. So I knew that I wanted to, and also I wasn't sure what type of coaching I would offer because my background is leadership and management, and I could have specialized specifically in offering management services and leadership development services. However, because of my particular passion about people who sometimes get don't get as much support as they need, I my passion kept kind of overriding what was my particular professional specialism. And so
Right.
my passion for taking care of people and my understanding that once I had dealt with the issues in my life, I was able to perform better as a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And in recognizing that, I recognize that there is actually a need for this type of service for many, many women and for men also. And so my understanding that unless we have our foundations in place where we've got love, we're feeling secure, we've dealt with our confidence issues, where we're able to balance all of the roles that we play in life also. Because one of the major issues is that, particularly for women often carry a lot of guilt about their children or about being able to have time in the home and time with families and things. And when you're out there either running a business or being a career woman, you're often faced with a number of dilemmas. And so it's finding a way that that woman can feel confident and sure that she's doing the right thing for her, and
Right.
that she's balanced in all the roles that she's playing, but that
Mm-hmm.
she also is able to take care of herself.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
absolutely. And of course, I do my shows on relationships.
Yes, yes, I
And
do.
I'm always talking to people who are trying to get better relationships.
Yes.
My question may be, how did your relationship work with the business? Did it complement it? Did you get the right support in your personal life to
Hmm.
help you to keep doing what you've been doing for the
Hmm.
last 2 years?
Hmm. Hmm. I
How did
mean, what has happened for me is that at the time of establishing, in terms of a personal relationship, but relationships also with my family,
Yeah,
for me, I was very, very clear about what the vision was. I
yeah,
was very clear about what I wanted for myself. I mean, for example, my son, um, who's in his 20s, at the times when I was saying I'm going to leave my job, he was saying, "No, Mom, you really can't do that." It was like my identity was shifting and it was going to be a disaster because how are we going to, we're not going to have any money, and, what's she doing? Why does she want to leave her job? You
yeah,
know, and so that took a bit of time for people around me to understand that it's okay.
yeah.
And it's okay for me to do this. It doesn't mean that I'm losing anything.
Mm,
It's that I'm really going to gain, and everybody around's going to gain also. And so, but I really, for the last, I'd say, 3, 4 years, I've had to stay focused on
yeah.
where I want to go with this,
Hmm.
and and take the steps. So I plan carefully. I plan in detail. Um, each strategy really in terms of how I build the business
Yeah.
and how I want to build the profile of success makers and of myself as the success maker. So the reason that the business is called Success Makers is because previously, in my employment and just in my general day-to-day life, people would come to me for help,
Right.
either for personal issues, to help them to develop their career, support with their relationships, whatever it is, people naturally came to me anyway. And so it was actually somebody in my family who said, they started calling me Success
Mm.
Maker. So before the business had a name, I was being called Success Maker, you see. And
Oh,
so when I was trying to find the name for the business, because it was just going to be Marcia Spence Consulting or whatever, and then I kept being drawn to this title, Success
wow.
Maker, and I tried it, and then it's just, it's become within the community that I live in. It's a name, it's a brand name that is known now, and it really is what it says. It's what it says on the tin, as they say.
Mm.
The success, go to Success Makers, and whatever goals you want to achieve, Success Makers will assist you in achieving those goals. And myself, Marcia, as the success maker, is the person that will enable these things to happen. But again, me being able to sit here and own that brand and own that name has taken a bit of time in terms of building my confidence to be bold enough to be
Yeah.
saying that about myself. And that has come over something that I had to do for me, which was the
Right.
testing. Although I had a track record in my career before in my jobs, coming into this particular sector quite new, I knew that I needed to find my place within the market,
Mm-hmm.
and I also needed to build my confidence in the fact that actually I'm credible and I am making a difference to people's lives. So what has happened for me in this particular type of business is that I tried things out. I tested out the one-to-one coaching. I tested out running seminars. I tried out different modes of marketing. So I use a lot of social media. I would use radio, and so I test out really, how I can reach the people that I want to reach, and I just trial different types of events, different types of packages of services, and as we've moved along, obviously I'm gathering and capturing all of the feedback. So I evaluate all of the work that I do, I get evaluations back. I'm able to assess my performance or my team's performance. And I also make sure that I put together an impact questionnaire so that I know what the starting point is of people that access my service. And then I know what happens to them along the journey,
Yeah.
and I have an outcome and impact feedback mechanism also. So from that, what that does is it builds confidence in people inquiring about becoming my customers, as
Mm-hmm.
well as it's built confidence in me because I'm seeing what people really have to say about what I'm doing for them. And so now with that, that has just built my strength and my ability to say I am the success maker, and I'm claiming that. So
Wow.
I'm
Claim it,
claiming it.
claim it.
I'm claiming
Oh,
it. I was given it anyway. But I was like, sometimes it will be like, people will say something about us. And the thing is, this is what I'm teaching the the women that come to my workshops and on my programs. This is what I'm teaching them. They need to. It's about us um, understanding the power that we have, the
yeah.
ability that we have. That it's about not being ashamed of who we are. You know, Marianne Williamson has that poem which is about our deepest fear. And our
Yeah.
deepest fear is not that we're not good enough. Our deepest fear is that we're powerful beyond measure.
Yeah.
And so these are some of the things that I work with people on, is really digging deep inside as to who are you? What makes you tick? What are you good at? What can you be good at? And building strength and confidence that way, as well as looking at refining their competence within a particular area. So, yeah, so developing the business has been, for me, I definitely needed to build my confidence within this field. And I had to go through certain processes and steps in order to do that.
Yeah.
And so I'd say, and I did, you know, there were times when I was like, hold on, am I qualified enough as in this people development area, and had to really do assessments as to, am I qualified enough? And after a process, you know, I recognize, yes, I am.
Yes, you
Um, am I making a difference to people? Can I
Yeah.
make a difference? Yes, I can.
Yeah.
The other issue for me was about what to charge. And
Mm.
so, again, with confidence about the value of what I'm offering over the period, I've been able to move my pricing. Well, put it this way, I started when I was testing the market, I tested it offering 3 free sessions to people. And I
Yeah.
did this for about 10 people. And then I transitioned into charging for the coaching sessions, but I would offer a free consultation. And the consultation would be an assessment, looking at their, you know, the balance of their life, looking at priorities, looking at values, and so on, and what their goals are. And I would do that free, and I would spend probably about an hour with each person. um,
Right.
what it did is we built rapport.
Yeah.
They were able to get to know me. I was able to get to see whether I could coach them. But I was spending, you know, a length of time with people, and whilst some people booked a package afterwards, some didn't. And
Mhm.
so I've transitioned now where I charge a fee for the initial consultation also, so that when people want to access the service, I mean, I'll speak on the phone for free,
Yeah.
but once people are saying that they're interested in the service, I also believe in having that commitment from them. And I also believe that where we invest in ourselves, we place a higher value to
Yeah.
it also.
Mm.
So, and it's also, so it's all about this whole realm of me valuing me, the customers, the clients valuing themselves and investing in themselves. And so they pay for an initial assessment, and then after the initial assessment, we then go on to designing what sort of service I'm offering them. So, but my confidence in what I charge has also built over the test marketing period, and I'd say in the first year of running the business. You see, the very first, after the test marketing, the very first year of running the business, I was still in employment, so I still had a salary coming in. And so I suppose on that personal level, I didn't actually feel, I was feeling, well, I probably don't need to be earning too much right now,
Mm.
you know. However, I think the fact that what I charge is more so based on the value of what I'm giving people.
Okay.
On saying that though, with this particular service, I do want it to be accessible. The thing that I recognize with the in the field of coaching, self-development, some of the things that I access are very, very expensive. And so I go to conferences and seminars where, you know, I'm paying £300, or if I have a session with my coach, it's like £199. And I know that there's a whole group of people who would never be able to access this ever. And so one of the, I suppose, my passions or my mission is about re-educating, particularly women. And there's a majority of my clients are Black women. And so with Black women also, it's re-educating that the cost of going to the seminar is probably less than it costs to have their hair weaved.
Yeah.
And the money that we will spend on other products to deal with the outer issues. And
Yeah.
so part of my mission is about, let's work on the inner. Let's get the inner. So some of the projects that I do is that I partner with beauty salons, hairdressers, and we kind of look at promoting inner and outer strength and beauty. So that way. So yeah, that's.
Oh Lord. I'm patiently waiting for a chance to get in.
I know.
Let me not stop the flow.
I'll stop now. The other thing is, I'll just say this. The other thing is, for me, you see, what I share with people is my understanding that you create your own reality through your thoughts. And so once I personally really understood and embraced that way of living, it's just become a totally freeing, and it's given me the ability to enjoy my own life, but also to share that joy with others and help people to sort of get out of places that their thinking they've chosen to stay stuck in. So it's sharing with people that you have a choice. You have a choice whether to hold on to an old way of thinking or to just actually let go and allow wisdom to come in. And it's the wisdom that's true for you. So what has happened for me is that I now walk in my wisdom, and I am living in my truth, and therefore I'm able to offer a fantastic service to fantastic people.
Well, you know what? Hey, I know you will live in your truth because I can hear it, I can experience it, and I know people who are listening out there are going to feel that today. They're going to feel that. Definitely. I wanted to get you to focus on one thing for me.
Yes.
What is the single thing that you've done since 2012 in your business? Just one thing that you are really proud of. The single thing you have done since 2012 in the business, working the business, that you're really proud of, that you could share with my listeners or viewers out there. And viewers, listeners and viewers.
The one thing that I've done is continue to stay. There have been times when I've veered from this.
Yeah.
But it's really staying focused on my vision, and it's my mission and my vision, and that's it. It's staying focused, and it's pacing myself. It's pacing myself in the steps as I execute that mission. And so one of my key phrases is it's about having clarity of vision. So you have a vision, but there's crystal clear clarity in that vision, and then it's being able to execute that, and to execute the mission that you're here to follow. So what I do is, because I get asked to do a lot of things now, and I could kind of move this way and that way and that way and all around.
Mm.
However, I have to find a way to keep myself focused on
Yeah.
the vision.
I get that so much because you know what, when I started doing this business, getting into the radio, at the time, so many people are asking me to do different things. So I know what you're saying there.
Yeah.
People want you to come and speak on this or speak on
Yes.
that, and you're thinking, but this is what I want to do. Why am I going off in so many different directions?
Yes.
A trainer, I had my day job. I had so many different things. I'm still doing my day job, but, and I will go to my day job today.
Okay.
But, I had so many different things, projects on the go at the same time.
Yeah.
One of the things why I'm happy that, finally I got this award was because after, messing around with so many different little ideas here and there, doing seminars, doing the one thing that I focused on in the last 2 years has been just doing my radio shows, put them out every single week, talking about relationships. This is another addition to support for my listeners, but it's staying within that focus of the vision that you originally had, that you want to empower people, you want them to grow in their relationships. So that you've got to do, people have got to get that out there. Stay focused on one thing. Don't try to do too many things. Jack of all trades, master of none.
That's right.
Stay focused on something, see it through, go through all the bumps, and you will get there. But you've got to stay focused on that thing that you've set out to achieve for yourself.
Yes.
I got one last question, because then I'm going to have to go, because we are a little over 7:30 and I need to be out.
Okay.
So my last question to you is, if you did this again, if you started again a business, and you came to this process again in the future, what would you do differently to what you've done you've done so far? Is there anything that you would do differently if you're going to go through this process again? There's something about your learning, what you've learned.
Yeah. What would I do differently? I'd do a lot of it differently. I would have started it earlier.
Okay.
Definitely. So when I initially was thinking about it, say 5 years ago, I would have done it from then.
Okay.
What else would I have done differently? I think hired a PA at the beginning. Because I know that I mean the only thing is, in developing my business, I have gained so many additional multitasking skills. I can produce flyers, I know I blog, I update my websites, I've learned things that I've never would have known before. So in that respect, doing a lot of things myself, it's added value.
Yeah.
But I know that there are times when there is some kind of I don't know, tedious tasks that I've done myself, that maybe I could have been out there getting customers, and somebody else maybe could have been picking up some of the pieces in terms of the phone calls and the booking people in and the administrative type roles. But it's given me a very strong grounding in it. So yeah. What am I saying? I think just perhaps get the right assistance earlier would be good.
Yes. Well, that's learning, and I think it's great that you have that learning. I understand that. I totally understand that. I think we've got to do everything, and there are people out there who could take it on and make it easier. It's a bit like when you spend every weekend cleaning the house, and you just think, I could hire a cleaner.
Yeah, exactly.
My life is not all about cleaning. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, so there are things we can do better, and we learn and we grow. But Marcia, we come to the end of our time.
Yeah.
I have had so much value from you this morning. I've learned so much in this time, and I know people who are listening in would have learned too. I just want you to tell people where to find you.
Yes, okay.
Where do they find Success Makers?
Okay, we're at www.success spence-makers.co.uk. Telephone number 021 532 0840. I also have my blog. I think if you Google Marcia Success Makers, you'll find my blog, Twitter, Facebook. We are on Facebook also. We are based around the West Midlands, although we are now spreading across the UK and have plans for also some worldwide work also.
All right, fantastic. I think that is really great. I think you deserve every success, being a success maker, and I'm
That's
so
right.
pleased to share this platform with you today. I just got
Yeah,
to wish you a really
thank
great
you.
day. Let me just say to people, I will be back on Blog Talk Radio. Anybody who wants to find me on Blog Talk Radio, I mentioned it, go to Blog Talk Radio, and you need to put in the search engine Ebony Empress shows, and all my shows will come up there, and you'll be able to connect with me on relationships. I'll be back on Tuesday talking about relationships again, and we will have more business experts in next week. Opie Honest will be with me on Wednesday. I believe I also have Sonia back for the last week. We were trialing this for just a month to share some information, and we have, I think, our last show together on Tuesday. I also have a show on Thursday. I think Zena may be in. Zena Rengze, who was with us in the first week, she'll be back with me. And we're not sure who's in on Friday, but we will have somebody to showcase their business next Friday. So stay with me, stay with me, stay with me, guys, and keep listening. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Thank you so much, Marcia.
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah,
it's been great. And you've learned about Google Hangout today.
I have, which is great. Thank you.
Yeah, so everybody out there, top of the morning to you, and have a great day. I'm off to work. Goodbye, everyone.
Okay, enjoy.
Lots of love to all of you.
Okay.